Alright, Tunic, it is out, and I have to tell you, it is pretty amazing. And right now I'm sure you're asking yourself, should I drop the money and is it even worth it? Well, hopefully I can help you come to a decision in this honest review. So to start this review off, I gotta be honest, I knew absolutely nothing about this game prior to it coming out. I think it was about a week before it came out, I saw it on Steam and I thought, what the hell, I'll throw it on my wish list and let's see how it plays, let's see what comes of it. And I have not regretted that decision at all. So one of the first thoughts that came to my mind as soon as I booted up this game and started playing was just how reminiscent it was of a Legend of Zelda from NES. That was one of the first video games I had ever played in my life, and it was so nice to have a flashback of all the wonderful memories from that game. The game plays from a top-down view as you would see from older RPG games, and the controls are really simple. You can either play with the keyboard using WSAD, JKL, spacebar, or if you have a controller handy, you can actually plug that into your computer and start playing with that. I personally haven't found any way to use the mouse, so if anybody out there knows how to use a mouse and keyboard, please comment down below, let me know. But I have to be honest, I haven't had any trouble using the keyboard at all. It's actually been pretty easy. At first it was a little awkward, but after about 5 minutes of gameplay, I got used to it. So if you don't have a controller handy, there's really nothing to fear, because again, after about 5 minutes, you're going to be able to get the keyboard down. Now the first thing that should be noted as you start this game is that there are no objectives. There's no intro, there's nothing. It literally just drops you off in this island, and you are left to figure out everything on your own. And the way you figure that out is by simply exploring. There's a series of paths and secret passages along the way that you can look for, along with also signs that help guide you in the right direction to certain things, such as swords, shields, or new weapons. And while a lot of those signs you can actually read, you'll come across some signs that are actually written in some kind of foreign language that you have to decipher. I haven't figured that out yet, so if you guys have any idea what that means, please comment down below. I'd love to know how to decipher this secret alien language. The combat mechanics in the game are relatively straightforward, and again very reminiscent of the old NES games that I used to play. If you're using a keyboard, it's as simple as using WSAD to move around, and then you have JK, N, and M as your attack and block options. Each enemy that you come by is going to have a series of moves that they do on repeat, so it's just a matter of learning their combos and attacking when the time is right. If using the keyboard, you use the J key to attack. Now just like in any other RPG game, you have a standard stamina bar as well as a health bar. But it should be noted that as you continually use your stamina bar depletes. And you need to keep an eye on this, because once your stamina reaches the very bottom, you start to see those little dots above your character's head. You want to make sure that you completely wait until your stamina is completely refilled, because if you get into combat while your stamina is fully depleted, you will take 50% more damage from enemies. So it really pays off to pay attention to your stamina bar and make sure you're not going into combat half-cocked. Now as for the difficulty of this game, before I started playing I read a lot of threads that joked about this being the next Elden Ring, just as difficult as Elden Ring and as hard as Legend of Zelda from the NES days, just based on the amount of exploring that you have to do and just how hard the enemies hit and how many times you're going to die. Now to be honest, I laughed a little when I started reading all that thinking it was a complete joke, until I actually started playing the game. Not only are you going to die in this game, but you are going to die a lot. Not only just to the enemies that are rolling around, because each of them have a different attack and can surprise you, but when you start fighting the bosses in this game, which for the purposes of keeping it a surprise, I'm not going to show you in this review, you are going to die a lot. I think on the first boss alone, I must have died roughly 30 times before I completely understood his combo and could get in there and actually dish out some serious damage, and finally win. And I gotta be honest, I thought that was a huge breath of fresh air. When I first started playing the game, I thought it might be a little easy and it was just more for the ambience of everything. But it was so nice to see that there was actual skill that was required in this game and that it wasn't just gonna be a complete push through. The difficulty level is certainly up there. I wouldn't say it's as difficult as Elden Ring, but if you're looking for a really good challenge, this is definitely the game for you. Another really fun thing about this game is just the amount that you get to explore. Like I said, there's no objectives, so you're left solely to yourself in this world, left to explore and find new realms, new items that you can use in combat, along with new weapons. Now as you explore this realm, you're going to start coming across little comic strips that are laying around everywhere, and as you collect those comic strips, they're actually part of a manual that they've put inside the game. Now in this manual, you're going to see that there's more of that alien language that I'm unable to decipher as of yet. Now I'm sure down the road you're going to be able to figure it out and actually decipher that language, but as of right now I have yet to find anything. But there are some things that are written in English in this comic book that allow you to actually read what's going on. I have to say this is a really nice addition to the game because this brings me right back to the early 1990s where I'm in my living room with my legs crossed, I got my bowl of cereal next to me, and I'm looking at one of those old game manuals trying to figure out how to solve the game. Each page is really well detailed, and they give you little hints here and there on what certain items are, as well as what type of enemies you're going to come up against and how to defeat them. So as you explore and come across these comic strips, please take the time to read them because they're going to give you a lot of helpful tips that you might not have known before. Overall, I gotta say, I am thoroughly surprised with this game. For the amount that they're asking, this has been more than worth it. I would have paid $50 for this game, so the fact that they're asking less than that, I would throw my money at this game all day long. Again, if you are looking for a challenge, this is the game for you. Or if you're looking for an explorer, hack slash looter, this is the game for you. You're not gonna regret it. I highly recommend you pick it up. If you have a friend that has this game and you can go over to his or her house and play it, I highly recommend you do so. But you need to be careful because you're going to get addicted and you're going to find yourself stuck in the computer. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this review. I really hope everybody has enjoyed it. Again, I didn't want to go too in-depth as to what this game entails and what it's all about because I want to leave that surprise for you guys. But again, highly recommend it. It's very much worth the money. You're not going to regret it. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this honest review, and until next time, happy hunting, and I hope you guys have a very successful run in Tunic. Take it easy, everybody.